Hey everyone, Zeddy here today with a brand new video, and I wanted to get hyped for Ashes of Outland, so I wanted to go over the top 5 best cards that I feel will impact the meta most in both Standard and Wild, starting on April 7th when the expansion goes live. So, what are my picks? Well, let's go over both lists. We're going to do Standard and Wild at the same time. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in each format. So let's get going. So number 5, the fifth best standard card, I believe, will be Hand of a Doll. The Paladin's spell, give a minion +2/+2 and draw a card. I just can't see this ever not seeing play in Paladin, in any Paladin deck. It's cycle, it's a buff, it's just an insanely powerful card. You can put this into like Highlander Paladin, you can put it into Murloc Paladin, you can put this into anything. It's just an insanely good, versatile card. And I would just be shocked if it doesn't see play. Even in Wild, I think it could see play, like an even Paladin, maybe a Murloc Paladin, who knows. But in Standard, absolutely will be a juggernaut as long as Paladin is playable. And that's always debatable. The fifth best Wild card, on the other hand, is kind of out there. This is more of a weird one, but I'm going to go with Scrapyard Colossus. A 10-mana 7/7 with Taunt. Death Rattle, get a 7/7 with Taunt. You're never paying 10 mana for this, you're cheating it out. And I think a Big Priest deck, or more specifically Darkest Hour Warlock, would absolutely love this card. You already run garbage like Colossus of the Moon and Kelthuzad, and I've seen Ragnaros. Well, what's better than cheating out a giant minion with Taunt that gives you another giant Taunt? The Death Rattle part is insane. It's a neutral giant minion with double Taunt. So I'm kind of predicting this more in line just for Darkest Hour, because that deck is so prevalent, so strong, especially the way it counters Quest Mage, that I think this could see play, but this one I could easily be wrong on. Now, the fourth best card for Standard, I believe, will be Skull of Guldan, the Demon Hunter 5-mana spell. Draw 3 cards, outcast, they cost 3 less each. This is just insane. If it's outcast, if it's on the left or right side of your hand, you're effectively cheating mana with this card. It's 5 mana. As long as it hits something that's 3 or more, you're actually gaining mana with this card, which is crazy. Demon Hunter looks like it's going to want to cycle a lot, and my god, this card accomplishes it. And mana cheats, so we've seen that effect. How strong Demon Hunter will be, well, that remains to be seen, but I feel this card is just so strong that it's got to find a place somewhere. And it's definitely going to see some play in Demon Hunter. My fourth best wild card, on the other hand, is a Druid card. Fungal Fortunes. 2-mana spell. Draw 3 cards. If they are minions, you get, or if they're spells, you get to keep them. If they're minions, you discard them. If you haven't noticed, the trend in like Jade Druid and Miracle Druid and all of these Druid decks is they are very spell heavy. And honestly, the minions don't matter a heck of a lot. So you play... And also, you don't really have a turn 2 play. Outside of, like, Wrathing or Spellstoning, you don't have a turn 2 play. Well, this can allow you to draw 3 cards, 3 spells. It can get you Oaken Summons. It can get you Branching Paths, Ferocious Howl, like, so many good cards. And yeah, you mill a minion, it's probably not a big deal. So I think the card just has will see play in, like, yeah, your Miracle Druid, your Jade Druid. Can't really play it in Tog Druid because you can't mill that piece, but... I think it'll see a solid play throughout different Druid decks, and I'm excited to give it a try. The third best standard card, in my opinion, is Astral Mansur Silurian, the new Prime Legendary for Mage. It's a 2-mana 3/2, spell damage +1, and then it shuffles the Prime into your deck, which is a 7-mana 7/7, and it casts 5 mage spells to 5 random mage spells, and they're cast to enemies if possible, which effectively have no downside, outside of Conjurer's Calling, which I believe, I'm not even sure. Does that rotate? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But anyways, there's effectively no downside to this card. It's just premium stats, spell damage, and then insane value with the payoff. Like, Highlander Mage, Reno Mage will love this. You can run this in like a value tempo mage. You can run this in pretty much any mage deck. It's insanely powerful. It's a good turn 2 play, and it leads to an absolutely broken turn 7 play. The card's crazy. It's just crazy good, and there's no way this will not see play in mage decks going forward. Now, going into Wild, we're going to go with our third best wild card, which is already in play. We've already know how good it is, and I can't really leave it off the list because it's absolutely crazy. That's Kelthuzad Strider. 6 mana 4/7. Every third spell you cast is free. And my god, in Druid, this is just so broken. You get 0 mana UI, 0 mana Overflow, 0 mana Paths, Nourish, whatever, and you can effectively kill your opponent in one turn. You can cycle your deck in one turn, or you can just use it as a utility card Jade Druid and like cheat out a UI, which is just insane. The card is just broken. It's just really, really good. Specifically Druid, but like I've done OTKs in Mage with like Pyroblast. The limit on this card basically doesn't have any, as long as they keep making new big spells or cheap spells alongside big spells. This card will always be a thing and always be very powerful. So I can safely say that this is a very powerful card in Wild, and will be for years to come, unless they you know balance it or something. Why would you balance a card for Wild, right? Number 2 most powerful card in Standard is Spy Mistress, the 1 mana 3/1 minion for Rogue with Stealth. As a standalone card, without the other stealth synergies, this card is just really good. 1 mana 3/1, really good. Like, that's just an insane amount of damage. Trades up into every 2-drop in the game. It's just insane. Your opponent can't really interact with it outside of like Arcane Missiles or wasting an AoE. Just crazy good. And then there are still synergies that make this card even better. You can give it +3 attack immune. You can draw 2 cards. I just don't see how this card is absolutely not broken, and it's going into arguably the best class in the game, which is losing effectively nothing this rotation. So, card is insanely powerful, will just drain your opponent of health and resources, and it's a 1-drop. I mean, Worgen Infiltrator, 1 mana 2/1, has seen play plenty in aggressive decks. Add +1 attack, it's borderline broken, so insanely powerful card. Expect to see a lot of Spy Mistress on 1, and your health going down increasingly and rapidly fast. The number 2 most powerful Wild card, and shouldn't be a surprise to many, is Vocation, the new legendary Mage spell. It fills your hand with random Mage spells, and you discard them at the end of your turn. So, you have like 2 or 3 cards in hand, playing Quest Mage. You drop an Apprentice, you drop Evocation, and then you have like 8 spells to pick from. Some of which might create more spells, and those won't get discarded, by the way. And then you don't even have to worry about milling, because you'll discard the useless spells you couldn't cast. Insanely powerful. It's going to see play in Quest Mage 100%, as it's just broken there. You can complete the quest in 1 turn with this card. You can pull off miracle turns to bail yourself out all the time. It's just crazy because it's so cheap. You can discover it with Magic Trick. Like, the possibilities are crazy. And it could give it Evocation, could give Evocation. It's just crazy good. Reno Quest Mage might fit it. And they also have Cobalt Spellkin, the 5 mana dragon that gives you 1 mana spells. It's going to give you the Evocation quite often too. So even if you don't run it in Reno Quest Mage, it's still going to be insanely powerful there because you're going to get it randomly. So yeah, the card's crazy. It's coming at a really bad time in Wild where Quest Mage is completely dominating and oppressing the meta, but hey, you gotta list it. It's insanely powerful, and it's gonna be completely crazy in Wild. Now, for my number 1 strongest and most powerful card for Standard is Maiev Shadow Song. That's right. A 4 mana 4/3. We just Hall of Fame Spellbreaker? Nah, we print Maiev. 4 mana 4/3. Give a minion dormant. So this makes any minion, friendly or enemy, on the board dormant for 2 turns. That means it's just inactive on the board. Its Death Rattle doesn't proc, its effect doesn't proc, it's gone. And it's just a hard silence. You can deal with Edwin for a while. You can deal with any big taunt for a while and gain insane tempo and then push damage, push board, and then when the minion comes back, well, you're ready for it. It's just going to be an auto-including. So many decks. So many tempo decks, hell, even like Highlander decks can use this to just, control the board. It's just incredibly powerful. Auto-include, auto-craft in like, I don't know how many decks, just insanely powerful. I even thought about listing it in Wild, but in Wild, it basically acts as Spellbreaker, and the only decks that really use that right now are like Pirate Warrior, and like, it could go into even Shaman maybe. I just don't see it fitting into Wild, but in Standard, where your options are so much more limited for this effect. It's just crazy good. So hopefully when you open your packs on the 7th, or if you open them early, you open Maiev, because this card is going to be crazy. And my number 1 most powerful and strong card going into Wild is going again into Mage, and this time Secret Mage. Netherwind Portal. 3 mana secret. When after your opponent casts a spell, summon a random 4-drop. So this is after your opponent casts a spell. They could cast like Twisting Nether, and you still summon the 4-drop after the effect. It's just insane tempo, and you can high roll and get a 7/7, an 8/8, the Nosdarmo for Paladin. You can get just the craziest crap. And it just synergizes with everything Secret Mage wants to do, which is cheat secrets, tempo the board, create a board you can't deal with, and punish your opponent for playing spells or playing minions. It does all of this. You gain insane tempo, your opponent cannot clear the board, and you're just going to kill them. And Secret Mage, again, is just like Quest Mage, is an extremely powerful and at times polarizing deck, and this might push it right back up to tier like 1, tier S ability. So yeah, Ixar, you're gonna have fun playing your Secret Mage in Wild, because Netherwind Portal is an absolutely insane tool that is gonna go into the deck. I am 100% sure. So those are my top 5 standard and wild cards going forward for Ashes of Outland. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you disagree? Do you agree? What are your picks for the most broken, crazy cards? And yeah, hopefully you guys are excited for the new expansion. I am. I want to play some Demon Hunter. Even in Wild, we're going to try it. So hopefully you guys can check that out. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And yeah, have a great day, everybody. And stay salty, my friends.